Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm going to show you how to build a pickleball wall inside your garage. And the reason why I built it is that I live in New England, and it's either snowing or raining or really hot. And it's actually pouring out right now from Hurricane Henri, and none of the folks in my town are playing pickleball, I can guarantee it, but I am. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to build it. Here's the pickleball wall that I built. It's 10 feet by 7 feet. And you can modify that to anything you want. You'll just have to modify the materials list that I'm going to show you right now. Here's what you'll need to build the pickleball wall. 3 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, approximately 15 8-foot 2x4s, a box of 16 penny nails, a box of 2.5 inch drywall screws, a can of wood putty, 8 tubes of liquid nails, and 6 sheets of styrofoam. It's 2 inches thick by 2 feet wide and 8 feet long. So find a big area inside your garage where you can lay out all the 2x4s. I began to mark off the studs at 16 inches on center on the top piece, and then I began to nail in the studs with those 16 penny nails. So I finished installing all of the studs to the top rail, and now I'll complete the frame by securing the bottom rail to those studs. Now you want to lay down the plywood sheeting on top of the frame and secure that to the frame with those 2.5 inch drywall screws. Before I put in each screw, I countersink the head of the screw into the plywood using a drill bit that looks like this, so that the head of the screw won't protrude beyond the top of the plywood. This is what the countersink hole looks like before I actually put the screw in. Now that the plywood's mounted to the frame, I want to trim off the excess edges. I do that to within about 1/8 of an inch of the 2x4s below. In order to clean up that 1/8 inch overhang on the plywood, I use a flush trim router bit. And that will clean up that 1/8 inch really nice along the edge of the 2x4. Here's the finished frame, and now the final sets of screws need to be put into all of the 2x4s. So if you want to try to keep the noise down when you're using this inside your garage, I decided to use styrofoam backing. So what I did is I trimmed these styrofoam pieces to fit inside the back of the 2x4 cases. This is where you want to glue down the styrofoam backing using liquid nails. And here is the styrofoam backing glued down to the back. And before you paint it, you want to make sure that you fill all the holes with some wood putty. And this is what it looks like once you have the wood putty all sanded up. And now that the board is ready for painting, I used a primer sealer to get it ready for the final coat of paint. So I wanted to have a line across the board at 34 inches high to simulate the top of the net. And so I used some painter's tape and laid that down. And after all the paint was on, I simply pulled the painter's tape off, and it left a nice long bright white stripe. Hope you enjoyed. Leave any questions and I'd be happy to answer.